Hi, everybody, and welcome again to ZCode Sports System. Here we developed automated systems to help you win big. Again, it doesn't matter what sport you're betting on, we've got you covered. We're going to get into some NFL action for November the 24th, but before we do, I want to invite you to join so you will have access to the VIP Club section, which has all the tools here, all these tabs across the top, have great things to help you make your picks. Okay, so we're getting down to the last 7 games of the season, and teams are really starting to try to make a playoff push either for seeding or to make the postseason altogether. So let's take a look at some of the games. There's 5 games that we will look at for today. And the first one we want to take a look at is Detroit Lions at Indianapolis Colts. Detroit comes in burning hot. You can see winners of their last 6. In fact, they've won their last 8. Indianapolis is 3-3 over their last 6, and they broke a 3-game losing streak with a 1-point win over the Jets. The Lions are huge favorites of 7.5 points, odds of 1.263 to 4.0. The over/under is sitting at 50.5. You can see that Detroit is a 5-star game-winning pick on the road. And if you look at the over/under, the teams have been trending on opposite sides of the over/under line. You can see the Colts 4 out of the last 6 have been under, and Detroit 5 out of the last 6 have been over. The score prediction is for a very comfortable 34-19 win for Detroit, 87% level of confidence. That score would both cover the spread and put the game over the line. Detroit Lions have covered the spread in 80% of the last 5 games as a favorite, and they've also won 100% in the favorite status in the last 5 games. Let's take a look at a couple other things here. On the Power Ranks indicator, Detroit's stable at the top here at plus 29, while the Colts are at plus 17. If we look at the stability factor, how consistent are the teams regarding their favorite and underdog status, you can see Detroit extremely consistent because why? They've been favored to win and they've been winning. So that number keeps going up, and the Colts are at plus 4, moderately stable. If we take a look at the trend in the money line, let's see if how much movement there's been in the line. You can see it opened at 1.323 and is now at 1.263. It went more in favor of the Lions, and it has been stable ever since. So I like Detroit to win this one. I don't think the Colts have much of a shot. Detroit will lose one eventually, but it's not this week. Let's go with the Lions, and I'm going to take the game to be over the line. Kansas City and Carolina, that should be a blowout for Kansas City. We're not even going to get into that one. Let's see, Minnesota and Chicago. Here's a classic NFC North battle. Although the teams are heading in opposite directions, you can see Minnesota winners of their last 3, burning hot status, while the Bears are ice cold down, losers of their last 4. Interesting thing here is the over/under. You can see that the teams have been involved in games under the line in the last 7 straight, and the total is for 39.5. So the over/under line is very low here, with Minnesota as a 3.5 point favorite with odds of 1.541 to 2.550. The score prediction is for the Minnesota to win 34-14, which would be put the game considerably over the line. Confidence in the prediction is rather high at 73%, or excuse me, 72%. 3.5-star road favorites in burning hot status, which is what the Vikings are 2-0 in the last month. Let's see what we have here. Anything else of note to look at? The Power Ranks indicator, Minnesota at plus 22, Chicago plus 19. Notice a while back, Chicago was actually ahead in that category, but Minnesota has overtaken them with their 4-game winning streak. Teams have not yet met this season. In the stability factor, Chicago's actually been more consistent with regard to their favorite underdog status than has been the Vikings, probably because the Vikings haven't been predicted to be as good as they are, and they just keep on winning. In the end, though, I think this is going to be a Minnesota game in a game under the line. I think the defense is really going to shut down the Bears. The next game we want to look at, we have to scroll way down here. There's a lot of games, but none of them of vital importance compared to the ones I'm going to look at for you. Scroll down. See, there's a whole slate of games. You can take a look at these at your convenience if you want to consider a bet on any of these games. This is the one we want to look at next. Arizona and Seattle. This is a NFC West battle. The Cardinals come in burning hot, winners of their last 5. Seattle ice cold up. They broke a 2-game losing streak, but they are just 2-4 over the last 6. Again, the trend for the over/under is mainly under. The last 6 games combined between these teams have been under the line. You can see that the odds are 1.909, 1.909. It's a dead even game here according to this. Its point spread is 0, which means it's a pick'em game. Now this could change. Probably, if it changes at all, probably be slight favorite for Seattle just because they are at home. But right as of now, it's a pick'em game, and the over/under is at 47.5. The score predictor is for Arizona 29-18, 51% level of confidence in the prediction, and this would put this game barely under the line if this were the case for the final score. If you take a look at the power ranks indicator, you see that Arizona is at plus 30 and Seattle is at plus 5, so wide discrepancy there. In head-to-head matchups, the teams have not yet met this season. Seattle won both games last season, but I think that trend is going to be reversing in this one. But let's take a look at the money line. The money line opened at 1.909. It got to 1.8. Now this is Seattle money line, and it's now back to 1.909. In the end, I like this to be a Cardinals win. I think even by a touchdown in a game under the line. San Francisco at Green Bay. This will be another great game, I believe. Green Bay comes in burning hot, 5-1 over their last 6. San Francisco is coming off of a loss, and they're 3-3 over their last 6. The Packers are a home favorite by 2.5 points, odds of 1.645 to 2.3. The over/under is sitting at 46.5. Green Bay Packers have won 100% in the favored status in the last 5, but the 49ers have covered the spread in 4 out of the 5 as an underdog. The score prediction is for the Packers a blowout win, 40-18. Confidence in the prediction is very high at 87%. I'm not seeing a 22-point win. It's a little bit of too big of a margin for me, but we'll get to my pick in a moment. On the power ranks indicator, clear advantage for Green Bay, 26-4. 49ers just have not been able to get consistently on track here with any kind of momentum. We'll see what happens this week. The consistency factors, if you can see here, Green Bay plus 3, and like I said, San Francisco at 0, not consistent with their favored underdog stats as indicated right there. If you take a look at the movement in the line, you can see that it opened at 1.833, and there was a movement in the line somewhere along the way. Well, you can see that it's now 1.645, so more of a heavy favorite now in terms of the Packers. So they are almost a field goal favorite. So I do like the Packers to win and cover, but I'm going to pass on the over/under bet on this one. The last game we want to look at is the Philadelphia Eagles and the Los Angeles Rams. The Eagles coming in winners of their last 6. They've really looked impressive as of late, and the Rams have been playing fairly well. Also, they're 4-2 over their last 6, so this should be probably the toughest matchup the Eagles have had in a while. On the West Coast, they are a favorite of 2.5 points, odds of 1.645 to 2.3. Over/under is at 48.5. Philadelphia's won 100% in favorite status in the last 5 games. The score prediction is for the Eagles by 13 points, 33-20. The confidence in the prediction is at 72%. If you look at the power ranks indicator, Philadelphia plus 15, surprisingly down, even though they keep winning, it's down from the last time that this was measured, which is a little bit odd, but anyway, it's down a little bit, and the Rams are at plus 8. In the stability factor, you can see Philadelphia is at plus 4, more consistent as of late, and the Rams have been up and down there at plus 2. Let's take a look at the money line. We always like to look at that. It's interesting to see what's happening. Philadelphia started at 1.667. It got to 1.621. You can see it's been going up and down a little bit. Now it's been pretty stable at 1.645. I think this game comes down to how kicker Jake Elliott is doing for the Eagles. He missed 2 field goals and an extra point last week. If he does not kick well this week, it could be a loss for the Eagles because I expect a closer game this time. But I think that was a blip on the radar because he has been a very excellent kicker throughout his career. So I like the Eagles to win this one. Again, it could only be by a field goal, but I like the Eagles in a game under the line. So there you have it. Those are the games for the NFL. Happy betting, and see you next week.